gonna throw this out there before I begin the review. Poor Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving is just sandwiched in between Halloween and December, and for the entire month of October and throughout the entire year, honestly. Everybody celebrates by watching horror movies, and then right when November 1st hits, everybody's like, it's Christmas season, Christmas movies. Everybody starts watching Christmas movies for 2 months. It's like you mention Thanksgiving to somebody and they're like, Thanksgiving. Yeah, no, nobody cares about Thanksgiving. Just have it wilt in the corner. Let it continue to be the child Madonna didn't want. I ain't complaining. I like watching Christmas movies, but it's November. Black Friday is more of a holiday than Thanksgiving. That's kind of a shame. Happiest season is going to be out on Hulu on November 25th, I believe. Yes. Which just relates to my cold open about Thanksgiving. It is coming out on the 25th. It is coming out the day before Thanksgiving. We've gotten so many Christmas movies already before Thanksgiving. Jesus. Celebrate the damn holiday. Happiest Season is a holiday romantic comedy that captures the range of emotions tied to wanting your family's acceptance, being true to yourself, and trying not to ruin Christmas. Meeting your girlfriend's family for the first time can be tough. Planning to propose at her family's annual Christmas dinner until you realize that they don't even know she's gay is even harder. When Abby, played by Kristen Stewart, learns that Harper, played by Mackenzie Davis, has kept their relationship a secret from her family, she begins to question the girlfriend she thought she knew. And when it comes to evaluating Christmas movies for me, I kind of look at them in a different light. I don't really necessarily think Christmas movies, unless if you're Home Alone or Jingle All the Way is the exception to this rule, because Jingle All the Way is not a good movie. It's a good Christmas movie. But that's basically my rule. I accept you as a Christmas movie, just not as a good movie, unless if you're Home Alone, unless if you're like Die Hard or Lethal Weapon, which are Christmas movies. Those are the exceptions to the rule. But when it comes to Christmas movies, I look at them as, hey, these are Christmas movies. They're not necessarily great movies, but they are Christmas movies. And I think Happiest Season falls into that category. It's an enjoyable watch for sure. It's an enjoyable watch around the Christmas season, but it's not Christmas season yet. It's Thanksgiving. I'm not gonna let it go. Sorry, just not gonna happen. Even though I was watching it in November, I still found enjoyment. And for a year where I feel like the entire world just kind of needs a hug, this was a Christmas movie that felt warm and inviting, and it had a moral message to it. Even though a lot of the family members in this movie definitely are not that likable, nor are they fleshed out all that much. All the family members in this movie are like uptight. They're all kind of quirky. One of them is really awkward. She was actually the funniest of all the siblings. Allison Brie is like the biggest like resting bitch face in this movie. I swear to God. Watch the movie, you'll be like, Allison Brie, yep. Resting bitch face. Some of the dialogue choices didn't really work for me. I thought some of the dialogue was a bit awkward, oddly placed, or I guess clunky is a good way to put it. But I do think that this movie gives its stars room to shine. I'm honestly not a huge fan of Kristen Stewart as an actress. I've said that in the past. But I think that making movies like this and Charlie's Angels, despite, say what you want about Charlie's Angels, but she was one of the bright spots of that movie. I think giving her things like this, where she's allowed to have fun and it's actually something she likes doing, that's when Kristen Stewart shines. And it seems like her personality opens up a lot more, so if she can continue to make movies like this, she'll win me over. Like I said, I don't really like her that much as an actress, but she's starting to win me over with some of these roles that she's picking in some of these movies that she's making, because I feel like it's more her being herself and her enjoying being herself making these movies, not having as much restraint from making a big budget movie with a big name director like she probably did on Twilight. Everybody else is really good in the movie too. Mary Steenburgen's really good. Victor Garber is really good. I really like Eugene Levy's son, Daniel Levy. Dude's hilarious. Mackenzie Davis is also really good, and I've liked Mackenzie Davis in the things that I've seen her in the past, like Blade Runner 2049. I thought she was really good in Terminator Dark Fate. And this movie just spreads the Christmas joy for a year where I think we need happiness like this, like with this pandemic going around and everything else that has happened in 2020, this is a movie that I think we need. Just bright, spirited holiday movies like this that have a moral message and put you in that Christmas mood. It proves that you can still find some joy in the Christmas holidays despite all the shit that's going on. I really liked that approach to the movie, and the holiday itself never took precedence over the story. It felt like it was there as the setting, but it was never, Christmas was never really used as a plot device, at least in my eyes. It was a nice little aesthetic that made you want to keep watching the movie, I guess. So I enjoyed it for that. And the moral lessons you learn from here, where it's like, oh hey, there's this family that thinks that they have to be perfect, but in reality they don't have to. You can still love everybody no matter who they are or what their sexual identity is, which is definitely a message that this movie hammers home, especially since it is a movie that deals with representation, and I think does a very good job at dealing with representation. It is written and directed by Clea Duvall, who in real life herself is lesbian, so you have the representation behind the camera and in front of the camera with Kristen Stewart, and even between the lines of the film and the camera itself, even within the script you have it. So it definitely does a good job of portraying all of that. It does it in a mean-spirited way, but also in a moralistic way. This movie never got under my skin and made me angry. I never felt angry at some of the questions that this movie raised because it never beat you over the head with some of those immoral questions that it talks about within the movie, and instead focuses more on the good of the situation rather than the bad, which is what I think a movie like this has to do. So with all that being said, what I just said is definitely a positive. It's a very long-winded positive, so I'm not even going to go over it again. I like the performances. I think it's very well directed. It's a good Christmas movie. I think you can definitely watch this movie around Christmas time. It's definitely not a movie I wouldn't watch before Christmas. Like, it's November. I watched this in November. I'm like, I'm not in the Christmas mood yet. I just got this through a screener, you know? The characters aren't that well fleshed out. There's some clunky dialogue here and there, and it's not necessarily a good movie, but it is a good Christmas movie. It'll be fun to watch around the holidays. It's a Christmas movie. What do you expect? I'm gonna say you will really enjoy Happiest Season, even with 3/4 worth of a bucket of popcorn. So now that this movie has been released, can we get a Thanksgiving movie, please? Whatever you thought of Happiest Season, drop me some feedback in the comments section below. I will leave my link to my website in the description below as well. You guys are the best. Thank you for watching. My name is Alec Madden, and I'll see you at the movies somewhere. Give me my damn Thanksgiving movie.